Space, the final frontier, and there are still fucking loading screens. There's nothing out here. What are you loading? But yeah, there's a space whale.
Space whale?
Space whale?
Yeah, and it's encased in ice because obviously space is cold.
But if there was... Wait, so did somebody just take the whale out of the water and throw it up there? Because just because it's cold in space doesn't mean it's going to freeze. There'd have to be water there to freeze. Otherwise, it'd just be cold.
I have a feeling that it might actually, intentionally have like part of its body that secretes water so that it'll freeze over as a as a protective coating of ice. Because to even get a shot at this thing, you need to shoot through the ice. Also, I always lose the thing because it's hard to see.
Oh, so at this point you can just go straight up to the moon, but you can't have to go get the whale if you want to complete the animal thing.
Yep, it's the last picture in the game to take.
Wow, for that you get a splendid picture. Not holy shit, fucking space whale!
And for that, we get an M disc. I wonder what's on this one.
Yo, Pearl.
No, it's Pokemon Snap 3.
Actually, I think it might just be a disc full of all the animal pictures that you've taken throughout the game.
Ah, that's a
Joy.
little, that's lame.
Wait, a compilation of every animal that you've taken?
Yeah, quite possibly.
Like a postcard?
It's a postcard that you create yourself.
Oh, fuck, I'm my own worst enemy.
But yeah.
That's it. Crash a ship into the moon. Fuck this.
It does look like we're about to crash into it, doesn't it?
Where the hell is Volnut? Isn't he supposed to be up here?
Somewhere.
Well, why is his last name Volnut, by the way?
It's
Because X was already taken.
But in any case, yeah, here we are on the moon, and there's the Dom's headquarters.
There's the transmitter. That's where we need to
Oh, wait, no, wait, is it the Dom's headquarters, or is it the Alpha Section? Yeah, oh, it's the Alpha Section space station, which is very conspicuously attached by elevator to the Dom's headquarters. So, yeah.
So just nobody had a telescope this entire time. Nobody happened to stare at the moon and realize, wait a second. The DOMs and the Alpha Sections are like next door neighbors and shit. Nobody noticed this before now?
Apparently not. I'm not really sure how this whole thing falls together. To be honest, oh yeah, there's a heart container here at the very end, just sitting in a vending machine. Thanks, game.
A vending machine on the moon.
Oh man, that guy, the vending machine restock guy must have a hell of a time whenever he has to come up here. I wonder how much shipping costs are to the moon.
It's nice to know that even in the evil overlord's fortress, we can still get a box of K-Bups.
You're so decked out for the final area of the game, there's no way you could possibly lose.
Yeah, unfortunately, not much really happens up here. The design of this final area is really bare bones, and there's one compelling gameplay element, but it's a puzzle. A mirror puzzle, where you reflect light around. And that's literally all you do until you get to, the boss fights. So, really, your main event here is the story and the boss fights. The story that doesn't look like it's ever going to get a sequel. You know? The cliffhanger.
Why is it always the last area of so many games that feels the most rushed?
You were floating in midair there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. But yeah, we got to reflect these beams around to unlock things, and we do this by picking up these items and putting them in specific places.
Oh, so it's like that one area in Sonic Boom.
They're supposed to be mirrors. I think they're supposed to be mirrors, but, looking at the 3D model, it's a little hard to tell. I'm going to assume they're mirrors because that's what they do. They reflect things. Bing. There you go. And I do like the look of this area, but you don't really do a whole lot while you're here. So from a gameplay point of view, I don't know. It's kind of like in the very last few minutes of the game, the developers decided they'd do that thing that certain really artsy game designers do, where they're like, Gameplay's too video gamey. We want to tell a story. And yeah, this really annoys me because I was really having fun with this game up to this point, and then I get to the final area and there's practically nothing to do.
This place kind of reminds me of the ancient Aztec laser puzzle room in Resident Evil 5.
There's an ancient well, hold on a moment. Hold on
Yeah.
just one goddamn minute.
Okay. You think that's silly? Okay, watch Hayden's Hyperbit Heroes video entitled "Resident Evil 6 is absolutely ridiculous." I think that was the title anyway, something like that. Just watch it, and he goes through the crazy shit that happens in Resident Evil 6.
Okay, you guys got to get on to doing this goddamn franchise more because, like, as a complete.
Is it any more ridiculous than Wesker Stealth Bomber landing inside an active volcano and then fighting said final boss in said active volcano?
Oh, Resident Evil 6 gets
you know
really
what?
fucking weird.
To be perfectly honest, I think ancient Aztec laser puzzle is kind of up there. Like, I don't know about that, but
Fighting inside an active volcano.
Okay. Alright, Pierce turning into a hybrid between Cole McGrath and the prototype was the most ridiculous thing in the series, okay? And it was awesome! At least it was if you were actually playing as Pierce. I got there as Chris, and I was like, oh, I should have picked the sidekick character that no one cares about. Oh,
We
man.
should go back to it. I can record 5 at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I believe our next Resident Evil game on the list was a remake.
Was it remake?
well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't- we haven't touched Resident Evil. I don't.
Since 4.
Since 4.
Yeah, like 5 years.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the first game that Ted here was part of.
Yeah, nostalgia. Woo!
Happy birthday, everyone.
But now, you can't just turn them by hand. You have to use the purple frisbee things. Gameplay! There you
Practicing
go.
your batarang tossing.
Pretty much. Oh, man. You know what game we should do? Batman Dark tomorrow. That would
What?
be an awesome game.
What game?
Why is tomorrow so dark?
Have
Wait.
you ever seen Batman Dark tomorrow?
What system is it for?
I think it's PS2 or GameCube.
Might be multi-platform. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use awesome in massive quote marks, by the way. It's the most horrible
What?
Batman
Nope.
game ever.
I
And
don't know, man. Have you ever played Batman and Robin on the PS1?
I've seen you playing it. I hold fast to my statement.
Ooh, damn.
Anyway, there's Paige.
Oh no, he's stuck in that. He's stuck in the dinosaur sap. Quick, we got to take him to who's its face so that he can become part of Jurassic Park.
Richard Attenborough.
Yeah.
This is actually a pretty decent puzzle. You have to get all of the crystals lit up at once with one beam of light reflected around. So, you basically need to figure out the solution through massive trial and error. But it turns out if you already know the solution, it takes basically no time to do it. And I already know the solution.
So it's not something you think through the first time you play. It's just something you kind of just fiddle with until you win.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
But, you know, there's a definite pattern to how things move, so you can figure it out. Or you can spend a lot of time guessing. But when you get to the second wave, you just have to turn this one pillar, and the whole thing opens. And then you do it again, and the whole thing opens.
Maybe the game was thinking that you'd the game was thinking, oh, they'll go around and try to think about which one's the one that will actually work instead of just pressing them all. And like they'd think that you'd overthink it, and then it's supposed to be like, simplicity was the answer, but no, gamers are just impatient and they're just gonna try everything in order until they get it right.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, though.
It was a good puzzle. I appreciate it anyway. But the first time, it took me for fucking ever. And then when I figured out how to do it, I was so mad at myself.
There's not a dunce cap big enough for this sort of fail.
Paige is dead. His vitals are gone. We were too late.
Wow, you sound so heartbroken.
And this is where Jade learns that with great power, by which I mean a camera, comes great responsibility. By which I mean saving pigs. I'm not really sure how the two correlate, but they do. And it's a very sad and inspirational scene. And Jade comes to terms with mortality and her own limitations as a human, Or maybe she just develops magic powers and brings him back to life. I hate this plot twist. I hate this plot twist so much.
Wait,
I'm
what?
sorry. She develops magic powers and brings him back to life.
Well, I think the right around was because we don't know the origins of Jade's.
Yeah.
So, it's our mistake to assume she's just a regular human.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I really liked Jade a little bit more before I found out that she was connected to the Doms and had these weird magic powers and everything. And it just sort of comes out of nowhere at the very end.
I like it more too for a couple of reasons. One, again, having it just come out of nowhere at the very end is honestly, I think, poor storytelling.
Yeah, if there's no build up, it's aggravating.
Yeah, they could have, if they wanted to pull this off better, they could have had hints of it in earlier parts of the game. How that would be, I'm not sure because I don't really...
They did have some hints of it. The way Jade always seemed to have weird visions around the Dom's priest on the very, very few occasions he peeked into the game. Are supposed to constitute some amount of foreshadowing, as is the very hard-to-notice mention of the name Shawnee at the beginning of the game. But here's the real problem. The Doms and the Alpha sections get basically no screen time, and therefore, when you find out that Jade is connected to the Doms, you know nothing about the Doms, and therefore have no reason to like this plot twist.
Not to mention that just in general, she has magic powers and can do such and such, and it not really being explained kind of feels a little Mary Sue-ish. Like, maybe that's not the best term to use, but it's the first one that comes to mind, so I'm just gonna go with it. Like, if it would need to be explained more, and I guess that's where you're talking about. This is the game that absolutely needed a sequel, and it's never gonna get it.
yeah, because you only find out the real nature of these powers in the very, last second of the game, when Jade brings back all the dead people that the Doms have kidnapped, and then the camera cuts out to the credits, and it's to be continued, in very obvious red letters. Also, we can hear, some dialogue going on, so, I'm pretty sure... I can't hear the voices. I'm going to turn up the volume very momentarily so that I can... No, they stopped talking. But yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the Dom's priest talking, but all the people that they've kidnapped are being drained of their life juices. We have this conversation between the Dom's priest and the Alpha Section's general. But apparently... the Dom's priest is dying or something? Or maybe it was the general? I don't know. I can't hear the dialogue, so I'm not sure whose voice is saying which.
It's the priestess saying it.
But yeah, we snuck in and we managed to find the Dom's priest talking to the general, which is the best picture we could possibly have taken for this cause. Because why else would they be meeting except for betrayal? Betrayal, I say.
So the Doms are kidnapping people to suck the life out of them to keep the priest alive, is what's going on?
Yeah, and apparently they need Jade in order to do so permanently. Okay. They need Shawnee and some kind of weird magic energy that she has control of.
Okay.
By the way, this entire section that sort of looks like the place where Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan fought Darth
That's
Maul.
what I was thinking of too.
Yeah, you can go in about 3 different directions, but they all lead you to the end anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
So wait, so is the implication that Paige knew all this shit beforehand?
Yeah.
Okay.
You knew it all.
All right.
Also, the Doms seem to have some sort of language going on down there in the subtitles, and I'm wondering exactly how much work the developers put into actually making those words have meanings. Because, sometimes fantasy stories have fake languages that mean nothing, and sometimes they go the J.R.R. Tolkien route and actually define what the words and grammar rules are.
Nah, you just need to put a whole bunch of apostrophes in there, and it's totally Elven. All of the apostrophes.
That's why I can't pronounce any of the fucking names in 14.
That's the sign of how a bad fantasy writer doesn't know what Elven even is. Because, yeah, J.R.R. Tolkien created the language and then wrote the book. In fact, I'm reasonably sure I remember hearing that he wrote the story purely to give context to the language that he made.
Lord of the Rings or
to
the
the
Hobbit?
to the languages, yeah.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So the language came first, and then he made
Yeah.
books to explain the language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more or less.
So
By
wait,
page.
why did he
By
make
page.
the language then? Like
Because he's a linguist.
just for fun? He made up a
Yeah,
language?
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess.
Hey, when you get really deep into the intricacies of language, it can get pretty interesting.
Oh no, it
Just
is.
so you
It is
know.
pretty interesting, especially the English language, which is ridiculous and horrible, and I love it. English is kind of like the language Borg in that it kind of assimilates
Assimilates.
it assimilates other languages as it gets introduced to them. It's actually really funny.
Shawnee, it's incredible. We just got an email from the chief. He's alive.
What?
So at some point, while we were running across the bridge, Paige woke up, shook off the cobwebs, and sent an email, and then managed to make it all the way across the bridge because he's right here. Don't drop me off the side of the bridge, Paige. Don't drop me off the side of the bridge.
I figured it out. Jade is a Pikachu. Her tears can bring people back to life. Yes. Yes.
Okay, next time I play Pokemon Yellow, I'm naming my Pikachu Shawnee.
Yes. Now, thankfully, we actually had a good character here instead of Ash, who we just should have left dead.
You saved me. You're the one that brought me back to life.
So,
The one you think you are.
Paige not only knows what she is, but also that she has this power.
Hidden deep inside you. Now it's coming to the surface.
Mystical mumbo jumbo blah blah.
Which
Okay.
wasn't there the first time, if I recall correctly.
The kids, they...
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Kidnapped too.
Yeah, I'm not really fond of the plot twist, and you know, I complained about it a lot. You might think it's like, oh god, worst game ever, ruined forever for me, but I was just kidding. Like, it's just sort of a sour note at the end of the game for me, and I really wish
You
that...
can still like something, but still
yeah,
critique.
yeah,
elements.
it's kind of like the Joker boss at the end of Arkham Asylum for
Oh
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Worst part of the game. That doesn't mean that the rest of the game sucks.
No,
Yeah.
it's especially for the, I'm not gonna lie, the story has been very intriguing all the way through. And I've been, not necessarily on the edge of my seat because that's not comfortable to sit like that, guys. What are you doing? But I've been interested. I've been wanting to know what's gonna happen next, and it is a little hackneyed, maybe that might not be the best word either, but it's not the way I would have liked it to happen, I guess. I don't know if I would have rather them just kept Paige dead, or if he was brought back a different way, or whatever.
Maybe if he hadn't died in the first place and we just managed to actually rescue him.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can progress further into the Alpha Section transmitter now.
With the vending machine.
Because the elevator has 3 buttons. It's almost as if this place was designed with the full knowledge that 2 people would enter and 3 people would leave.
Huh. Also, Paige and Triple H are both in your party now. I mean, Double
yeah.
H.
Double H.
Sorry.
Triple H.
Yeah. They...
It's time to play the game.
And
Jade.
yeah, I'm reasonably sure I missed one health upgrade because there's like one conspicuous spot off to the right-hand side where it looks like there should be a heart, but there isn't. So yeah, kind of disappointing.
So wait, does one of the people in your group just not have a health bar then, or
What's gonna wind up happening is the health bar sort of cycles between the two in a
Okay.
weird, awkward way. Because a second ago it was Paige, now it's Double H again.
Okay. All right.
I think it depends on like whoever's closer, but whichever one is on display is the one who's going to do a thing when you press the triangle button.
All right.
But it really doesn't matter who you're controlling, because they both just do a super attack that knocks everything into the air. So, yeah. Same fucking difference. Although if you're that kind of person who really cares about your party members and for whatever role-playing reason you want to give them extra health because you're such a nice version of Jade that you disregard your own durability in favor of them, well, you're not going to have all that very many heart containers yourself at this point in the game because now you're eating for 2, 3, even. Yeah.
I'm pregnant.
With twins. One of them's a pig man somehow. I don't understand how that happened.
The other's a 40-year-old soldier.
It's okay. I'm part of the Doms.
All right. And now that we have this, and now that we have we have access to the transmitter area, we can actually get up there and transmit a message from the transmitter. Once we get past this Gatling gun that shoots black purple energy.
No, I thought it was shooting those cores. I was like, oh, by all means.
But yeah, this thing has a very predictable shooting pattern, and it's actually really easy to get around. Except I got
This
hit
time
like
you're
a-
getting hurt.
I got hit like a dumbass, but once you're below it, you're fine. It can't shoot directly down.
Hang on tight. We're almost to the transmitter.
Woo! Almost to the transmitter. It's a good thing there's a very convenient tram here, and that we don't need any special ID keys or anything to operate it. Because, the military on Hillies is horrible. Even when they're betraying Hillies, they're horrible. In fact, I have a suspicion that the governor, like, intentionally trained the military poorly in case they turned against Hillies, because then even citizens with pitchforks could fight back. It's foolproof.
If that's the case, then why not just use the local militia?
Foolproof.
Watch the plan fall apart in the finale.